Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Gaura Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Samet Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Is visible? This can be tilted. Eleventh Canto, second chapter, text 49. Dehendriya prana manodhyam yo Janmapyashodbhaya tarsha krichere Samsara dharmer abhimoyamana Smrita harer bhagavata pradhana Dehendriya prana manodhyam yo Janmapyashodbhaya tarsha krichere Samsara dharmer abhimoyamana Smritya harer bhagavata pradhana Dehendriya prana manodhyam yo Janmapyashodbhaya tarsha krichere Samsara dharmer abhimoyamana Smritya harer bhagavata pradhana. Please repeat. Dehendriya prana manodhyam yo Janmapyashodbhaya tarsha krichere Samsara dharmer abhimoyamana Smritya harer bhagavata pradhana Dehendriya prana manodhyam yo Janmapyashodbhaya tarsha krichere Samsara dharmer abhimoyamana Smritya Harer Bhagavata Pradhanam Dehendriya Prana Manodhyamya Janma Payashudhayatar Shakritchare Samsara Dharmera Vimuyamana Smritya Harer Bhagavata Pradhan. Mataji. Dehendriya Prana Manodhyamyo Janma Payashudhayatar Shakritchare Samsara Dharmera Vimuyamana Smritya Harer Bhagavata Pradhan. A word for word meanings, translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace, Adhyacharya Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai. Okay. So, just little bit decrease this. Deha of the body, Indriya senses, Prana life air, Mana mind, Dhiya and intelligence, Ya who, Janma by birth, Apaya diminution, Shud hunger, Bhaya fear, Tarsa thirst, Krichre and the pain of exertion, Samsara of material life, Dharme by the inseparable features, Avimuyamana not bewildered, Smritya because of remembrance, Hare of Lord Hari, Bhagavat Pradhana the foremost of devotees. Translation. Within the material world, one's material body is always subjected to birth and decay. Similarly, the life air, prana, is harassed by hunger and thirst. The mind is always anxious. The intelligence hankers for that which cannot be obtained. And all of the senses are ultimately exhausted by constant struggle in the material nature. A person who is not bewildered by the inevitable miseries of material existence and who remains aloof from them simply by remembering the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be considered Bhagavata Pradhana, the foremost devotee of the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamiyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhavaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitascha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Brashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanamostute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namah Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas, especially His Grace Vrindavanchari Prabhu, His Grace Rajgopinath Prabhu, His Grace Srimad Gopal Prabhu, so that I can speak something for my purification, for the pleasure of Vaishnavas and for glorification of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you must be wondering why today the verse is not on the board but it is projected from laptop, and why I started the prayer before reading the purport, because these purports are very big, so I thought of reading it in a very structured way so that we can, because there are so many points are there in the purport that while we are reading the purport, we miss out many things because it is so huge. We lost track of the flow. So I tried to make some flow of the purport. That is why I am putting it in the screen. Okay. So before we begin, this is a conversation between Maharaj Nimi and the 9 Yogendras. So Maharaj Nimi is asking question and the 9 Yogendras one by one is answering questions and revealing the deepest secrets of devotional service, the symptoms of great devotees, and revealing this wonderful gems of Krishna consciousness. So there is a beauty when I have observed that these great souls, they have a ocean of wisdom, very deep realizations and deep understanding of scriptural conclusions. And while they are speaking, they may not reveal it everything. And they may speak very simple things, which we also sometimes repeat. But when they are asked questions, gems starts coming out. And very deep understanding, deep conclusions come out, and we get benefited. So it's very important that we ask questions. Just like yesterday, Bhakti Gaurav Narayan Maharaj, he spoke something which we know, we generally hear. But when the question answer started, then he started revealing his heart, right? He started telling how really one can make advancement. Just by reading scriptures, one can give pravachan. If someone is intelligent, somebody is educated, he can read scripture and give pravachan. But unless he is Krishna Gata Prana, unless he has surrendered his life, then he cannot be considered a Uttama Bhakta. So great souls, when they are asked this question, they reveal it. I have experience in the Rath Yatra also. Like every night in the Pandal, His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj would come and he would speak something from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we know, which is quite regular. Obviously, those things also when Maharaj speaks, it is a great faith. But these all things which we regularly hear. So I felt we know. But when there is question answer booth and devotees starts asking questions and Maharaj started answering, those times the secrets and the inner realizations of Maharaj, maybe it's just like a few years back when Maharaj was asked that there was so many injustice, so much hardships in your life, so much ill health in your life. So don't you feel this is an injustice to you? You have served so much in this mission, but still Lord is putting you on so much difficult situations. And what was Maharaj's reply? It's an amazing reply. Maharaj said, I am indebted to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada had saved me. So I am just paying the debt. So how can I question the injustices? I am so indebted to Srila Prabhupada who had saved me. I am just trying to pay the debt. So these depth of realization come out when the Uttama devotees are sincerely inquired by a sincere sadhaka who is struggling in his own devotional life. So then it's revealed. So here Maharaj Nimi also asked the symptoms of Uttama Bhakta, and the second of the Nava Yogendra, Sri Havir, is revealing the symptoms of Uttama Bhakta. So previously he told the symptoms of Uttama Bhakta who sees the presence of Lord in every living entity. And here his additional 8 symptoms of Uttama Bhakta, one by one he is mentioning. So yesterday Maharaj read, that was the first one, and today that we are reading is the second one. Okay. So we'll go to the purport now. Okay. So in the purport, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada starts with a comparison, because when things are compared, they are better understood. Just like Shishnitai Gauranga has the deity is there and there is a backdrop. So if the Pujari chooses the backdrop according to the dress that Nitai Gauranga is going to wear, right? Unless the backdrop is proper, Nitai Gauranga's beauty is not, doesn't come out so much. So if proper backdrop is there, then Nitai Gauranga's beauty is comes out more beautifully, right? So proper backdrop is necessary. So similarly here, they are giving this description of these 3 classes of intelligent living beings, so that we can better understand the Uttama devotee. Okay. According to Srila Madhavacharya, there are 3 classes of intelligent living beings within this world. Who are the 3? Demigods, ordinary human beings, and demons. What are the characteristics of them? A living being endowed with all auspicious qualities, in other words, a highly advanced devotee of the Lord, either on the earth or in the higher planet system, is called a Deva or a demigod. So demigod is endowed with very highly advanced qualities, very auspicious qualities. Whereas ordinary human beings generally have good and bad qualities. According to the mixture they enjoy and suffer on the earth. So they have mixture. But the demons, those who are distinguished by their absence of good qualities and who are always inimical to pious life and the devotional service of the Lord, are called asuras or demons. So these are 3 kinds of intelligent living beings. Of these 3 classes, the ordinary human beings and demons are terribly afflicted by birth, death, hunger, whereas the godly person, the demigods, are aloof from such bodily distress. The demigods remain aloof from such distress because they are enjoying the results of their pious activities. By the laws of karma, they were unaware of Shishnitai Gauranga Bhagavan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So the demigods are unaware of gross sufferings of the material world. So Bhagavad Gita says, Traivadya So Amam Somapa Puta Papa Yagge Ishte Swagatim Prathanante Te Punyam Ashadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. They take birth on the planet of Indra and they enjoy godly delight. But, next verse, 9.21 says, Shine Punne Marta Lokam Vishanti. Bhagavad Gita says, one uses the results of this pious activity, one has to forfeit his status as a demigod, along with the pleasure of heavenly kingdom, and return to earth as a Nara, ordinary human being. In fact, the laws of nature are so subtle that one may not even return to earth as a human, but may take birth as an insect or tree, depending on the particular configuration of his karma. So the demigod, when he falls down, he may not get a human body. He may get a body of insect or tree. So demigods also have some material distress. It's said that they do not have old age or disease, they just have birth, and when they're about to die, they're in great distress because they have to leave the heavenly planets, and they come down through the rains. So demigods also feel misery, right? But here now the comparison is given. But the pure devotees are even greater than demigods. Why so? Because the demigods, they are mixed devotees. They have desire for devotional service also, and they have desire for material enjoyment also. So because of having a desire to serve Lord, they have auspicious qualities. But because they have desire for enjoyment also, so that is why they have to suffer distress. So to the degree we have material desire, to that degree there will be distress. That is for sure, right? But the pure devotee does not experience material misery because he has given up the bodily concept of life and identifies himself correctly as an eternal servitor of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. As stated by the Lord himself, the Bhagavad Gita, Susukham Kartum Abhayam. So the pure devotee does not experience material misery because he does not identify with the material body or the mind or the intelligence or the ego. He completely identifies himself with his eternal identity. Jive Swarupai Krishner Nityadas. He is fixed in that identity. That is why even if while staying in the material world, having a material body, having a material mind, having a mind and intelligence which is made up of material elements, still he does not experience material misery because he is aloof from material identity. Just like a coconut. This coconut inside, which is aloof from the shell, outside shell. So coconut, similarly, the pure devotees, they have body, mind, intelligence, which may be made of material elements, but they are not affected by this because their consciousness is fixed in their spiritual identity. So that is the characteristics of pure devotee. But what to speak of pure devotee? In the stage of regulative practice also, the process of bhakti yoga is very joyful. So what to speak of pure devotee? Even the practicing sadhaka also, he is also blissful. What do you think? So actually we have experience. To that degree we practice strictly Krishna consciousness. To that degree actually Krishna consciousness is very joyful. To that degree we do not follow the regulative principles. To that degree we do not do proper Shravanam and Kirtanam. To that degree it becomes a burden. But if someone is strictly following the process given by our acharyas, then he can actually feel very joyful because that is actually Sushukum Kartum Abhayam. Similarly, Lochan Das Thakur, a near contemporary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, said, Savavatara Shara Shiramani Kevala Ananda Kanda. Although there are various kandas or divisions of Vedic disciplines such as Karma Kanda, fruitive ceremonies, and Jnana Kanda, regulative speculation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Harinam Sankirtan movement is Kevala Ananda Kanda, only bliss. the pathway of pure bliss, simply by chanting the holy names of Krishna, eating the remnants of sumptuous food offered to the Supreme Lord, and hearing the enchanting pastimes of personality of Godhead, one merges into an ocean of bliss called Krishna consciousness. So Dinabandhu Prabhu came and he was very impressed with the devotees because they are dancing very jubilantly. So said, this is Krishna consciousness. Chant, dance, eat prasadam. This is complete bliss. Right? So the pure devotees know that this is a blissful life. And to the degree one follows those pure devotees, one can, even in a stage of sadhaka, can be blissful. Right? But for that, we need to require, we do not identify ourselves materially, but we do spiritual identification. Right? Fortunately, this blissful ocean is the eternal situation of every living entity, provided he gives up all of his bogus concepts of life. One should not identify himself as a gross material body, nor as a fickle mind, nor as speculative itself, nor one should foolishly identify himself with so-called void of Buddhist imagination. Nor should one even identify himself with the ocean of impersonal spiritual life called the Brahma Jyoti, which illuminates the great outdoors of the spiritual sky beyond the covered universe. One should rather identify himself correctly as an eternal individual servant of the Supreme Individual Personality of Godhead. By the simple admission of one's constitutional position and by sincere engagement in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, one is quickly promoted to the direct participation in the eternal pastimes of Krishna. Just as Arjuna got the opportunity to play with Krishna as a soldier on a battlefield of Kurukshetra. Right? The spiritual identification, then we get direct engagement. The destination is that we again go back to spiritual world. Right? What is the problem with material identification then? Sadhaka may ask, what is the problem with material identification? So, purport talks about this. Srila Madhavacharya has given an elaborate description of the process by which material miseries rise. When a conditioned souls of demoniac mentality, so this is the result of different material identification. What is the problem? What happens? When the demoniac mentality, person of a demoniac mentality, this is a mentality. This is not just a person. So this mentality anyone can have. Okay. So even a devotee can have. So when a devotee with a demoniac mentality identifies himself with the gross material body, he undergoes miseries of constant drowsiness and unquenchable sexual desires that burn all mental peace and serenity to ashes. So when you identify with the body, then bodily needs become very prominent: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So that will torment the living entity. When a demonic person identifies with prana, the life here, he suffers from hunger. When he identifies himself with the mind, he suffers panic, fear, hankering, that ends in disappointment. When he identifies himself with intelligence, he suffers profound existential bitterness and frustration deep within his heart. IIT devotees can feel this one. Because they have a lot of intelligence, and when it's not engaged in Krishna's service, they feel existential bitterness. I'm not feeling satisfied with my service, Prabhu. Please give me some suitable service, because our intelligence is not properly engaged. So we feel some lacking, some shortcoming, some emptiness in our heart. Right? When he identifies himself with the false ego, he feels inferiority, thinking, I am so low. And when he identifies himself with the process of consciousness, he is haunted by memories of the past. When a demon tries to impose himself as the ruler of all living beings, all of these miseries expand simultaneously. So to the degree we identify our body, mind, intelligence, and prana or process of consciousness, then our ego, to that degree actually it will create torment, it will create hunger, thirst, all the 6 whips of material nature we have to suffer. So to the degree we do material identification, to that degree we will be tormented by all these difficulties. But the demonic people tries to find happiness in these things also. So according to Srimad Madhacharya, sinful life. But the demonic person tries to find happiness in these miseries only. Just like in Bhagavad Gita says that demonic persons find happiness in passion and ignorance. He tries to find happiness in passion and ignorance. Though there is misery, he feels that is happiness. Just like the camel. Camel digs the thorny bush, and blood comes out. Blood oozes out, and he drinks that one, and it feels so. This is so nice. So this is the happiness of a demoniac person. So demoniac person tries to get happiness with the sinful life. We can observe that in the demoniac societies, the dark, late hours of night are considered most appropriate for recreational activity. Example is very close by. Sapurji, you go, you'll see all these things in very much great demonstration. All sorts of sinful actions. When a demon hears that someone is rising at 4 o'clock in the morning to take advantage of the God early morning hours, he is astonished and bewildered. So sometimes I see that boyfriend, girlfriend comes early morning hours and attends Mangalarti, right? They have not slept. It's not that they have slept and got up early for Mangalarti. No, whole night they were awake, and morning, by chance they have come here and they are attending Mangalarti also. So they feel astonished and bewildered. Therefore it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashutanumani. What is night for all beings is a time for awakening for the self-control, and the time for awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. So what is the happiness for Krishna conscious person? Srila Prabhupada has commented, there are two classes of material. One is intelligent in material activities for sense gratification, and other is introspective and awake to the cultivation of self-realization. Thus, the more one increases illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating and gambling, the more one advances his prestige in demoniac society. Whereas in a godly society based on Krishna consciousness, these things are abolished completely. Similarly, as one becomes blissfully attached to the holy name and pastimes of Krishna, one becomes more and more alienated from the demoniac society. So, to the degree we are attached to the holy name, the spiritual objects, the holy name, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sankirtan, the association of the Vaishnavas, these spiritual objects, when we deeply identify with them, deeply attach ourselves with them, then that can give us actually real happiness. The demoniac person, that happiness, that is actually suffering, right? But the Krishna conscious person enjoys spiritual happiness, spiritual bliss. So further, the purport talks about Uttama Bhakta. So I thought before, because there is a description of demoniac mentality, or in our devotional terms, so we can term as Kanishta mentality. So a little bit talk about Kanishta mentality. Then we'll come back to Uttama. Okay. So this is a notes from lecture by Radhesham Prabhu. So we'll just because Uttama is little lofty for us, so we discuss something about Kanishta and Madhyama, then we'll go to Uttama. So the Kanishta mentality. Kanishta means materialistic devotee. Prakrita Bhakta. The definition here in this chapter given is that one is attached to the worshipping of deities, worshipping of Supreme Lord, but he doesn't know the value of devotee, does not respect devotees. So that mentality can be expanded in various degrees and various ways. So some of them I have pointed here. So the Kanishta has faith in Krishna, but do not have respect for devotees. He thinks, I am a great devotee. Just like sometimes initially when we come, we feel we have so much love for Krishna. Just like when I attended the first camp, Spurti camp, I came back from the camp, I messaged my elder sister that I have fallen in love with Krishna. I literally messaged my sister, right? So I was feeling, I have so much love for Krishna. But as I progressed, I understood it is completely opposite. So the neophyte devotee or the Kanishta devotee thinks, my devotional service is great. I am a great devotee. All these are not so great devotees. And he praises himself also. I chant so many rounds, I did so much, I do this, I do that. So he praises himself before the devotees. And he also criticizes the devotee. He points faults on others, points others' faults. He says this is a lazy devotee, this is a crazy devotee, and this is a sleepy devotee, this is this devotee, this is that devotee. Like this he labels other devotees, right? Because he is not able to see their good qualities. Even sometimes he criticizes advanced devotees also, because he is very much attached to his rituals. He worships Krishna in a certain way, and the advanced devotee does not follow those rituals, then he will criticize even advanced devotee also. Like advanced devotee, because he may be attracted to Nitai Gaurang, he directly comes in front of Nitai Gaurang and does not offer obeisance at the gate. I offer obeisance at the gate to all the Vaishnavas. So the advanced devotee may not follow and directly come in front of Nitai Gauranga. So he may criticize. So that is Kanishta mentality. And he cannot properly distinguish between devotee and this visible, or I think make it a little bigger. Cannot properly distinguish between devotee and non-devotee. So if some senior devotee, some advanced devotee criticizes Mayavadi or speaks heavily about Mayavadi and scientists, he feels very disturbed. Why? Because he cannot distinguish between devotee and non-devotee. So that is Kanishta mentality. And he is fanatic, takes extreme sides. Just like if one is a brahmachari and is having Kanishta mentality. Brahmachari ashram is the ashram. Grihastha ashram is Maya. Just like Prahlad Maharaj says, deep dark well. Right? So one should become brahmachari only. Like that he preaches. So this is Kanishta mentality. Or a Grihastha who is having Kanishta mentality thinks, Grihastha dharma is the ultimate dharma. That is the goal of life. Brahmachari is useless, simply wasting the taxpayers' money and just eating, sleeping whole day, doing nothing, just sleeping. That is the Kanishta mentality of a Grihastha. He takes extreme sides. He does not understand how to reconcile things, how to balance things, how to have a balanced approach, how to have a balanced understanding. So that is, so like this, Radhesham was mentioning many aspects of Kanishta mentality. The core thing is that he is having a material conception, right? He has a material conception of everything, the devotee, the process. So that is Kanishta mentality. Or he has own understanding of spiritual advancement. So that is Kanishta mentality. But actually, though he is worshipping Krishna, but actually we'll see what Krishna says. So this is a verse from Anta Khanda Chaitanya Bhagavat. So this is Krishna saying to Bali Maharaj. So Krishna has gone to recover the 6 sons of Devaki from Bali Maharaj, and there Bali Maharaj he explains the consequence of offending devotee, and he tells that do not offend devotees. Why? Because the 6 sons of Marisha, so who offended Lord Brahma. So Lord Krishna says that Mora bhakta na pujeya amare puje matro shedambiko nahe mora prasadera patro. So those who worship me but does not worship my devotees is what Krishna is, not I am speaking. What Krishna is telling is dambhik, is proud, is arrogant, and he does not get my mercy. So the Kanishta man think, oh, I have so much love for Krishna and I am so much intimately connected. But Krishna doesn't tell. Krishna tells you are not you will not get my mercy. If you just worshipping me but do not offer respects to devotees. So, actually scripture is throughout filled with such instructions. That if he just focuses, just like someone is attached to Lord Gauranga, but he doesn't understand the value of Lord Nityananda, then his mentality is of a hellish mentality, Narakiya Buddhi. Right? So, we have to raise that from that platform, from this Kanishta mentality. So, we have to come to that standard of Madhyama Adhikari. So, what is the quality of Madhyama Adhikari? So, Madhyama Adhikari loves Krishna, makes friendship of devotees, preaches to innocent people, keeps distance from envious people. So, Madhyama Adhikari knows the value of devotees. He understands, he may see the fault, faults may be visible, but he doesn't focuses on them. He focuses on the good qualities. He sees that this devotee has given up sense gratification, trying to practice Krishna consciousness and preaching. So he always tries to focus on good qualities of the devotees. It is said when we meditate on the good qualities of the devotee, we also get some of them. But when we meditate or criticize or find the bad side or the faults of the devotees, then we are also contaminated by that fault. But Madhyama Adhikari knows the value of devotees. And he preaches to the innocent people. He shows compassion to the innocent people. And he keeps distance from envious people. Because he knows that envious people will be more envious if he try to preach to them. But he prays for them, keeping distance. So that is why he has a healthy relationship, healthy attitude towards everyone. But Kanishta, he has only good relationship with Krishna. Others with he cannot associate. But Madhyama, he can deal with all sorts of people. And he knows the value of associations. That is why he is very careful while dealing with Vaishnavas. He is very sensitive. And he is very humble, tolerant. He gives respect to all devotees. And he also knows the differences. Kanishta, he knows Kanishta mentality. He knows Madhyama mentality. And he has understanding of the different grades of devotees. But he gives respect to all. And he associates accordingly. And he does not expect any respect for this. So these are the Madhyama tendencies, Madhyama. This is mature devotee. He has spiritual conception of everything. So that is why he is careful with the dealing of the Vaishnavas. So now how to come to Kanishta to Madhyama? That is the question now. By regular association of such Madhyama devotees. If the Kanishta Bhakta is regularly associated with such Madhyama devotees who is having such broad-minded vision. Kanishta means narrow-minded vision. Madhyama means broad-minded vision. So when we associate with such broad-minded vision, just like yesterday Maharaj was speaking, that revealing such deeper inner secrets of devotees. When we associate with such devotees, our conscience also raise. Our conscience also goes towards the Madhyama platform. And also by self-examination, we can see in ourselves also. We can, a Madhyama, one who tries to go from Kanishta to Madhyama has to be very self-introspective. See his attitude, see his speech, see his behavior, see his dealings. And he thinks, is there any Kanishta tendencies in my behavior? And he tries to rectify by getting suitable instructions from Madhyama Adhikari. And he prioritizes Vaishnava relationships. He gives priority to relationships before anything else. Because understand that is my connection to Krishna. Right? How I treat devotees is how I am treating Krishna. So that is why he behaves in such a way. So like this, if we regularly associate with such devotees, then we can also come to Madhyama Adhikari. And now I will again go back to Uttama Bhakta. So we need to know about the Uttama Bhakta so that we understand the standards, the highest aspiration of a devotee. So Uttama Bhakta, the platform may be very lofty for us, but when you understand that level of consciousness, then we can appreciate the process of devotional service. So I'll quickly read. Uttama Bhakta. The demons are self-proclaimed enemies of the Supreme Lord. They mock his kingdom. Thus, they are described by Srila Madhacharya as Adhogate, or those who have purchased their tickets to the darker regions. On the other hand, if one is undisturbed by the miseries of material life, he is on the spiritual level, as same as Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Yam hina vyathyantete purusham purushashava samadukha sukham dhiram somritatvaiva kalvate. He is not disturbed by happiness and distress, steady in both, and is certainly eligible for liberation. One can come to this translation only by mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Krishna shows his mercy, then one can come to that Uttama stage. And here they talk about the process of becoming Uttama Adhikari. If one is fortunate, he gradually becomes disgusted with the limited vision, narrow-mindedness of Kanishta Adhikari. Learns to appreciate the expanded vision of Madhyama Adhikari, who is able to recognize that every living entity should become a devotee of Krishna. He achieves the perfection of life by following the footsteps of Uttama Adhikari of the Lord. He tries to follow in the footsteps. He cannot imitate, but tries to have the vision. So he tries to see in every living entity the presence of Supreme Lord that respects all living entities. Sometimes very difficult for us, but we try to get that conscience by associating such Uttama devotees. As one's devotional service gradually intensifies and one repeatedly bathes in the dust from the... So this is important, that we serve those Uttama devotees. Just by understanding who is Uttama devotee, we may not be able to become Uttama devotee. But when we serve them, serve their instruction, serve them intimately, then one can come to that stage by their mercy. Conclusion. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Amasindhu, Alabde Vavinashteva Bhaktya Chadana Sadhane Aviklava Matir Bhutva Harimeva Dhyasmarit. Even if a devotee is frustrated in his attempt to eat properly or clothe himself properly, he should not allow the material failure to disturb his mind. Rather, he should use his intelligence to remember his master, Lord Krishna, and thus remain undisturbed. As one becomes mature in the process of remembering Krishna in all circumstances, he is awarded the title Mahabhagavat. So I can see so many examples of this. Amrish Maharaj, completely undisturbed when Durvasa Muni created that demon. He is just thinking, Rakhe Krishna, Mare Krishna, Rakhe Ke. Completely dependent on Krishna. Right? And his conscience is even more glorified by Durvasa Muni when he begs forgiveness from Durvasa Muni, who was tried to kill him. So Durvasa Muni glorified him. Today I have seen the servants of Supreme Lord. Even I wanted to kill him, but he is praying for me. Such is the Uttama Bhakta. We also see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vasudev the leper. His body was suffering from leper. So many germs and insects, worms, and they're eating his whole body. But when one worm falls down from the body, he takes the worm and puts it again back to the body, because he feels that he has as much right to live in the body as I have. So this is Uttama Bhakta. So when a Kanishta Bhakta hears these examples, like this really melts his heart. So really, then he can actually understand the value of devotee. And when you see practical examples of those devotees like Srila Prabhupada, who is the Uttama Bhakta, and his disciples, has given their life for this expanding this Krishna consciousness movement, who are free from all, just like Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. 50 years is the GVC for India. So much difficulties, so many hardships, so much fights, so many fights he has to tolerate. But still tolerating and going on. So he served and set an example for all time to come, for all the devotees of Krishna consciousness movement. Who is the Uttama Bhakta? So when you hear the life, just like yesterday Maharaj was telling that we should lead the life of Srila Prabhupada and their disciples, because their lives are examples of this Uttama Bhakta. Unless we read their example, we will not be able to understand who is Uttama Bhakta, because it becomes very theoretical. Right? So when you read the lives of such such personalities, and even such personalities are existing today also. It's not like we do not have such Uttama now. No, we also have. If you associate, so many Maharajas come. Their conscience is very high. So we associate with them regularly, we serve them, then actually our conscience is gradually raised to that level, Madhyama, and by their mercy to Uttama. Okay. So here, this is more. So time has passed. So I will just quickly finish. So here, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells that about Uttama devotee. Because he surrenders to Krishna, he becomes tied with the rope of Vedic injunction, never lost in worldly affairs. So he is tied by the mercy of Lord Krishna. He chants holy name and he relishes the holy name. That is Uttama Bhakta. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings in these songs of Sharanagati how to become Uttama. So just sing and we'll end. Rupa sanatana pade dante trina kori bhakati vinoda pare dohu pada dhori. কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া বলে আমি তো অধম, শিখায় শরণাগতি করো হে উত্তম। So Adhama devotee understands his Adhama. I am telling about myself. So when he feels that I am having such low consciousness, such degraded consciousness, such Adhama consciousness, so he repents. He feels such deep sense of being so low conscious that he prays, "O Uttama Bhakta, please teach me Sharanagati and make me like you," just like Prahlad Maharaj prays. So this is how actually we can raise our consciousness by taking shelter, learning Sharanagati from them, because they have surrendered their lives wholeheartedly from them. So by learning the art of Sharanagati from them, through their examples, by serving them, we can also raise our consciousness and can become Uttama devotee. Okay. So thank you very much. Please forgive if I have spoke something beyond my adhikar, and please pray that Adhama like me can raise his consciousness to higher level. So by all of your mercy, all the mercy of all of you Vaishnavas, can my conscience be raised. So I seek your blessings. Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samet Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.